It's going down right here. Y'all motherfuckers better get ready to rumble. Passing like gumbo, slice on the bungle. Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready.
Call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready.
But I don't think he gon' make it. Not the way he was shivering and shaking on the pavement.
Man, I wanna just like push you off the chair music. Hey, if you weren't dressed like an undercover agent with the hat and glasses. Hey, welcome to the Fight and Share Report. This is like the weekend that I look forward to, well, almost most. But before we get into that, this is the Badger.
And this is Crazy Ass Brew.
Wow, really?
This is gonna be your new name.
No, it's not.
You get entirely too crunk for the intro
No,
song.
I
You
love
put your
that.
hands on me, bro. I don't understand.
Listen, I love that intro song. It just, you just look like the dude at the club is like blocking me from the bar. That's what I'm saying. Back in the day.
Can't nobody block you from
Back
that.
in the day. Well, they used to try.
Yeah.
I used being blind as an excuse. Bam, my bad. Anyways.
And your girth.
What? Really? Really?
Let's go.
Really?
Let's run.
I just love the fact that we got the same hairline now.
That's true.
That's
true.
Look, this is a good weekend because this is WrestleMania weekend. And we're going to get it. I'm actually going to be able to talk about that a little later in the show.
Okay.
You've been watching Farrakhan again?
Not today.
Okay, because I just noticed when you do, you try to sound a lot more scholarly.
That's an insult.
It's not an insult.
That is definitely an insult.
Why is that an insult?
I mean, first of all, you said try. Second of all, you took the approach as if I only do this when you know what?
It depends on what you watch, because like certain things you watch, you come off straight hood.
I mean, there's a delicate balance of righteousness and ratchetness, bro. I think I embody that pretty well. We were just talking about strippers before the show started.
Please cut this segment up, and you want to get that in there, Britt. You want to, because we need to replay that. That's a good ad. What you just said, the delicate balance of righteousness and ratchetness.
That's a real thing. That is a real thing.
Right.
People don't understand that you can be in two spaces. I can be a great parent. I can be a great friend. I can be all these great things, but I can still love the blockery. That is perfectly okay.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I am human. And I'm from Florida, so you know we do extra down here.
That kind of changes some things. You're
Yeah,
right.
it sure does.
You're right. I've lived down here a long time.
Yep. You one of us too now, preacher man.
So, what else is coming up on the show?
Well, like you said, we get to talk about WrestleMania.
Wow. We're just gonna repeat stuff.
And we also couldn't have been me. Is ready to go this week.
Yes.
I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that.
Yes.
I'm ready for that.
Please.
I think the viewers are gonna love that one.
Look, we've asked y'all to send clips in, stuff that we may miss, but the Badger got a good one this week. He got a good one, and I can't. Yeah, we get to talk about somebody other than us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm ready for it. Also, I said it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be this is gonna hit home for some people, man. This I said it segment. The two people we're gonna talk about, I think. I don't know, man. People might be hitting our inbox or our DMs or our messenger with some choice words for us. But hey,
we got some choice words to send back.
We don't care.
Come on.
Bring it.
Come on.
Bring it. What else? That it?
You may walk over, but you're going to limp back. Another Professor reference. That's about it. How much time we got left in the intro?
I don't know. It feels like we probably running about it now.
All right. So we're going to go right into OMG.
OMG.
On my grind. WrestleMania, baby. So good this year, they broke it up over 2 days. Not that it's any better than usual, but nothing else was on TV.
Exactly, so they win it.
Yes,
so they get to double their viewership.
Yes. Started yesterday at 7 p.m. And the interesting thing was, it was announced during the week and I missed it. They were breaking it up over 2 days. So I was on my date night with my wife and I got this notice on my phone about WrestleMania and I was trying to convince her that would make a good start to a date if we sat up and watched this, and it didn't work too well. But I didn't push it, and I'm still married. So.
Wait, okay. Before we get into that subject, is that your final reference about your wife? Because every show, bro, you've managed to bring her up. So is that it? Or are you going to mention her again later?
wife is an awesome individual, and I'll probably mention her again later. Plus, I'm still trying to get her in the ring. We're going to go over the results from day one, night one of WrestleMania.
Okay.
And again, I applaud WWE for doing this. No audience, yet they still had everything you could think of show up at WrestleMania at their entertainment center over in Orlando.
Okay.
So like everything's centered around Orlando in this show today.
Hey man, 407 represent us.
I thought when Shaq left, Orlando left. So in the opening match,
So disrespectful.
yes it is. In the opening match, we have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, which that's some interesting characters that they put together there. They beat the Kabuki Warriors.
Who?
The Kabuki Warriors, yes, exactly. Kairi Sane and Asuka, two Japanese wrestlers. And but they really fundamentally are sound as far as the old catch-as-catch-can style of wrestling. The Kabuki Warriors are. Alexa Bliss, she's talented, she looks good, and it's a gimmick with her and Nikki Cross. But I think Alexa's going to be one of those wrestlers in the future that's going to be able to help carry the women's division, which is really at the top of its game in history right now as far as wrestling entertainment goes. So they won the tag team titles in the opening match. Then we had Elias, the guy who brings out the guitar and the fans have actually embraced as the mountain man
So wait.
hippie singer.
Okay, so
He's not the honky tonk man.
Oh,
but it's the
okay,
same
that's where I was
gimmick.
going with it.
It's
I
the
was
same
definitely
gimmick
because I'm
as
talking
yes.
about
Except this guy actually comes up with songs and sings them. It's interesting. He defeated Baron Corbin, who I think the WWE really underutilizes. Former college football player. I think he played in the pros for a little bit, but they really underutilize this guy. Just with a little tweak here and a tweak there.
Okay.
He could be a midline champion, like an intercontinental champion, which is usually given to the hardest workers in the business. The world champion is given to who they want to be the face of the company, but the intercontinental champion, actually most wrestlers in history have been more well respected in the locker room than the world champion, because it's usually given to that person who the wrestlers know is the stuff.
Okay.
So I would see him, they should really utilize him more in that game. And then you had the women's championship match with Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. Now, Shayna Baszler made her name.
Becky against Shayna,
right.
Shayna.
Now, Shayna Baszler was also a cage fighter who came into the WWE. And she made her jump from NXT really into WWE when she attacked Becky Lynch and literally bit her and took a chunk out of her neck on TV.
I'm glad there's one man left in this segment because this is getting wild about a moment.
Yes.
This is ridiculous.
But Becky was actually able to defeat her and hold on to her title. Let me hurry up because I want to get to one of my favorite ones. Sami Zayn in the Who Really Cares match defeated Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental title.
Was that the name of the match, by the way?
It
the Who
should
Really
be
Cares?
because,
Okay,
Sami Zayn is a filler. I mean, it's like the cream in a donut. You really don't need it, but when it's there, it's like, eh. So
That is disgusting.
it is. So in the tag team championship match, it actually turned into a triple threat match because The Miz, who was a co-tag team champion with John Morrison, got hurt the week of WrestleMania. So it turned into a triple threat match, which if anybody pins somebody else, no matter who they pin, they won the title. John Morrison beat Jimmy Uso, who's in the line of Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Hey, I know that guy.
And Kofi Kingston. So, anyways. So the tag team title match stays around the waist of The Miz and Morrison. Kevin Owens defeated Seth Rollins, who I was glad because they've created a character. They're trying to make Seth Rollins look like Jesus. They call him the Monday Night Messiah.
Oh, white
So,
Jesus. There we go.
yes,
There's
exactly.
one you guys are going to hear often.
That's original in this country.
Yeah.
So he actually won that one. I was happy Kevin Owens beat him. Braun Strowman defeated Goldberg.
Didn't know Goldberg was still a thing.
Right, but he's back. He won the championship. He lost the Universal Championship last night to Braun Strowman. And then the final match of the evening was The Undertaker brutalized.
Hey, I know that guy.
He brutalized AJ Styles. I don't know why you have somebody who's 6'10", 6'9", 310 pounds against a guy who's like 5'10", 210 pounds. But in the WWE, everything exists. So yeah, that was a real thing, and the Undertaker again ups his record at WrestleMania since that's really the only time he has to come out and wrestle. But AJ Styles made it personal, talking about that the Undertaker only sticks to wrestling because of his new wife. He has to pay for all her habits. So the Undertaker actually got him back for all those slams against his wife. So tonight, 7 o'clock, WrestleMania continues. If you get a chance to watch it, great. And for people to say, why would you put that on? Because it's a sports combat show, and these men and women really get hurt. Even though the endings pretty much are scripted, the action in there really does result in a lot of injuries. So we still consider that, I guess, sports combat entertainment.
Wow.
And some of the UFC fights, some people say, are scripted as well. So, they kind of blend together.
Look, I've just kind of sat and listened to you babble on for about 6 minutes now.
Good.
So we're going to move right into dodgeball because, now on to the real stuff. So
Dodgeball!
Before the show, we were talking about, you said, maybe we should educate the public on how mandatories work.
Yes.
Right. So, as you all know, boxing has 4 major sanctioning bodies.
Yeah, IBF, WBA, WBC, WBO.
There you go. That's 4. And the Ring Magazine, which is given as a prestige belt, it's recognized, but not one of the main sanctioning 4 bodies.
Right. Oh, and then the one that Fury had that I didn't even know was a real thing until I started looking back in history. The original, what was that belt that he had? He was the lineal.
Oh, the lineal title, where
Yeah.
well, that's kind of.
But a lot of people have had it back in history, back into the 20s.
Yeah, it's a thing. Not a thing, but a thing. So there are 18 weight classes in boxing.
Okay.
All right. So what most people don't understand is that politics play a real role in how fighters move. Because I know we've been getting hit up a lot with people saying, oh, well, why don't Bud fight this guy? Why don't Spence fight that guy? Or why doesn't Fury fight this guy, that guy? Each sanctioning body, once you win that belt, they have a mandatory challenge that you have to face. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of those sanctioning bodies, that's how they get paid. So when you have time, look up sanctioning fees and title fees because you have to actually pay to maintain those belts.
Yes.
So what's interesting is that, for prime example, what's going on with Tyson Fury, they're trying to get unification fight with Anthony Joshua, but Fury has a mandatory with the WBC with Deontay Wilder, and Joshua has a mandatory with Pulev. Mm-hmm. So this is how politics muddy the waters. Now, we know that Pulev he's probably not going to beat Joshua.
Probably
That's
not.
kind of safe to say. Now, they're going to get in there and fight, and we've seen strange things happen, right? Upsets happen all the time. Mm-hmm. And we get to see Wilder versus Fury in a rematch. Some people would say that that's a one-sided fight. But for whatever it means, the best are technically not fighting the best. Because if it was just about fighting the best, then you would see Fury against Joshua.
Right.
And that's the argument a lot of people are going to want to make.
Wilder against Joshua.
Exactly, before Fury. And that's the argument a lot of people are going to make when you start talking about why fights aren't being made. Sometimes promoters who are part of the political realm, they get involved in that. But these sanctioning bodies and their rules, man, oftentimes stand in place of us getting some great fights.
And fighters can utilize these mandatories to dodge other fighters. Well, I have to fight my mandatory. Mm-hmm. So then by that time, they're hoping that the fighter that's calling them out gets involved in another fight. Mm-hmm. So then, I had to wait on you, so now I got to take this other fight.
Right.
So that's how you can hold on to your title for a while, by utilizing those mandatories as well. And it's funny you say this because even in this, what you say, what a lot of people say isn't a sport. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, the NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, in order to become the world champion and hold that belt, mm-hmm. you had to put up a $50,000 retainer because that's what the value of the belt was. So once you showed that you have $50,000 that you can put up as a retainer, they figured you were financially set enough that you could represent their organization well. Now, once they took the strap from you, you got your retainer back. But I always thought that was interesting.
Yeah. And one thing, just to kind of go back a little bit to the mandatories and how they work, every fighter's goal should be to become unified and undisputed.
Yes.
I mean, and that's where we have to give kudos to Terrence Crawford. Now, the dominoes were lined up correctly for him because the belts were easy for him to obtain because the fighters that had them, a lot of those guys were in-house or they were fighting for the promotions that, were willing to work together. You find that difficult now with Bud being with Top Rank and a lot of the belts being on the PBC side.
But wasn't he with Top Rank before? In 140?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Bud was at Top Rank, but I'm saying now that he's at 47, he was already undisputed at 140. Now it's going to be much more difficult for him to get those belts because a lot of those belts on the PBC side of the street, and for whatever reason, they made Wilder Fury happen, but it seems like they're being a little bit rigid in making Crawford Spence. Talks about Spence versus Garcia. It's money plays involved. Hopefully, though, for the goodness of the sport and the fans, we get to see these best fights that can get made because.
So the belts at 140 were pretty much under the Top Rank side.
Not so much that some of them were, but they. And I think one of the other belts may have been somewhere else, but it was easy to make. What I'm saying is the promoters were willing to work together. We know that Uncle Bob and PBC don't have a good relationship.
Okay, but I guess I'm asking a layman question on this one. So if they were able to get together at 140, the same people who run the organizations are not able to get together at 147.
Exactly.
Okay. So I guess they have more money invested in the fighters at 147 than they do in the fighters at 140.
I mean, that could be part of it too. You know, and some guys are, more marketable or more valuable than others, so the deals get made.
I'm just curious.
It happens. It's business.
Hey, it is. Thank you for doing that, man.
Yeah, no
breaking
problem.
that down.
Whatever I can do. I mean, you graced us with WWE and WrestleMania, so I had to bring some stability to the show.
Smells like sarcrapsum. That's pretty much what you just hit me with.
It's okay. Boy. So now we have the I said it.
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said that. Before you hit, I said it. I said it. Could you ask Britt if she would make the monitor so we can see it like full screen?
That's not gonna happen, bro. You have a vision problem, but I can see for the both of us, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't trust you see it for me. You got sunglasses on.
Man, and I still have better vision than you.
You do.
So.
Whoa!
Yeah, I said it. What we got? What's up?
You tell me.
Dana, yo boy.
Oh man.
Go ahead.
Dana White.
Dana's trying to reset the market value on some things, and we're gonna talk about this.
Dana, my friend. Dana, you're trying to. Sorry. First of all, I still believe that he needs to take this fight that he wants to happen. He needs to take it to Russia.
Well, I ain't talking about the fight. I'm talking about what he's in the news for right now. You know what he did down in Brazil, paying for some things, hanging out at the Brazilian strip club.
But you gotta understand.
Make me understand it. Make me understand 200,000 worth. Yeah, 200K. Dana's spending big boy money out there. Make me understand that. Now I know Lil Wayne saying tricking if you got it, but come on, Dana, 200 racks.
When I was single, I would have never spent 200. I'm not saying 1,000. I'm saying 200. Now he went to.
Bro, they say the Brazilian women bad.
Bro. Hey, you ain't that bad. Now, you ain't, no. 200,000?
200K. Well, to be fair, it was 10,000 per visit.
Whoa! Now, okay.
So let's give a little context to this.
No, I can't. I'm gonna have to stay out of this conversation.
Dana White is a victim of extortion. I find that very ironic by the way he treats his fighters.
Yeah, exactly.
But I digress. He's found this one particular adult entertainer dancer in Brazil that he met while in Brazil doing business. He frequented her at the club at her establishment, and he paid her $10,000 per visit to the whopping sum of $200,000.
You went 20 times, buddy.
And she danced for him.
No, she didn't dance.
And then she did the deed with him.
I was gonna say that people don't dance for that. All they do is this.
Hey, shout out to Goody Mob. But yeah, man, Uncle Dana. So now he's. I mean, what's up with these wealthy old white men? Bob Kraft.
This ain't new.
Donald Trump, and Dana White.
Well, I guess money makes them look better. Mm-hmm. It has to, cause but Brazil.
Man, I don't know. That's just what they said.
Listen,
and hold on. More? She recorded it, bruh. That's how he's getting extorted. Cause her husband her boyfriend, or whoever she was, her fiance, whoever he was, found the tape. She recorded it on her phone without Dana White knowing.
He knew.
So this, hold on, this is my thing, all right? So we as men have egos. So had Dana performed to standards, would he be so worried about his video being leaked out?
Why are you asking me that?
No, I'm just putting it out there. I
Oh.
said as men, we have egos. So
Right.
what I'm saying is,
Yes, I think
when
he would.
you,
Well, actually, Dana hadn't had any moral value, so no, he probably wouldn't have.
is he now divorced? Because I know he was married at the time this happened, but is he still with his wife or is he
That
divorced?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Comment below if you know. Let us know if Dana White is divorced or is he on his way after this. Because if not, his wife's like, you know, I asked you for a new car. And you told me you were coming up short on money, but you were, yeah. So, yeah, I would probably say if he's not divorced, he's probably well on his way. So shout out to Pasty Cake, Dana White.
Hey.
But hey, at least you went to Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I mean, while you were down there, you were sampling the local flavor.
Literally.
Literally.
Don't joke about that cabbage patch on your lip. That's a problem. So listen. So now on a serious note, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd has been going through a lot the past few weeks. We all know he lost the mother of his children,
Yeah.
of three of his children,
Yeah.
tragically and suddenly. Then Uncle Roger, who was pretty much a father figure to him while his dad was locked up and did a lot of training for him early in his career. He lost him. But then his daughter, man, Ayanna, who is 19, I believe, or 19 going on 20, has just been arrested, man, for felony assault with a deadly weapon in Houston, Texas. You know, we watched this young lady grow up in front of our eyes. That's because, you know, her dad has always been in the public eye. And I remember watching comments on YouTube clips when they used to do the 24/7 thing when he was with Showtime or HBO or whoever, and he would always have his children there kind of cheering for him while he trains at the fight. The kids are always right there. And people say mean, disparaging things about his children. And, you know, as a parent, both of us, you know, you never want to see people talk bad about people's children.
No, not at all.
And not saying the child deserved that at the time, but her actions on Friday kind of come full circle.
But do we know everything that happened?
What we know is that she stabbed a woman that was in the company of her said, she claims fiance, NBA Youngboy, who is a rapper from, I think, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who has a history of not only domestic violence, but that young man also has a troubled past. And Ayanna showed up at the residence. Apparently, there was an altercation. Don't know who started what, but she ended up stabbing this young lady. We don't know her current condition at this state down in Houston. This is a very unfortunate situation, and I'm sure that with all the money Floyd has, if he is at the core, the man that we think he is, he'd give it all back to have his uncle, the mother of his children, and his little girl not being in trouble, because they don't play in Texas.
No.
They do not play. And she could possibly be facing some real prison time.
Yeah.
Man. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this going forward.
Shout out to, I mean, we keep you in my prayers, man, because you've had a rough 2020 so far.
Yeah, as with the rest of the world, man. It's just
Yeah.
unfortunate. And, you know, one more thing before we move on with that, you know, we oftentimes hold people on a higher pedestal because of their status and their celebrity, but at the end of the day, children are children. I hope that this young lady gets the help that she needs, and I hope that her self-confidence, whenever this gets resolved, it can be repaired, because a lot of if you follow her on social media, which I don't, but I have a niece and other young ladies that I know that follow her, this young lady's kind of been doing a lot of these antics, and it's just so sad because in the culture, what we're starting to see is a lot of children that grow up privileged and that don't have to come from these type of backgrounds or do these type of things. When they get to be adults, they go out and seek the wrong attention. And it's weird, man.
This is not new. It's just popular now because we have social media.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we salute and celebrate celebrity.
Right.
And we salute and celebrate it in the wrong context many times.
Right.
These people are human. She's human.
Yes, she is.
She's
a child. She's 19.
She's a child.
Yeah.
She's got to deal with big girl things now. Mm-hmm. And the same people who were boosting her up, let's see if they wrap their arms around her. I doubt it, because people love to see your celebrity rise and fall. So unfortunately, this is what she's going to go through. So if you know her, if you're around her, if you're able to, show her that what she sees as reality doesn't have to really be that. Show her that there's some kindness out there. If you have influence over her, give her a hug and let her know it's going to be okay. You just have to pay for or deal with the things that you put out. But let her know that you'll be there for her when things come back around, instead of celebrating her fall, because that never helps to do that. My bad. Go ahead.
Nah, you good, bro. Just
Really, bro?
so yeah, man. I mean, you know, on the heels of that whole Mayweather incident, man, we just, you know, we gonna shift gears, man.
Yeah.
To something a little more entertaining. That's, as a parent, you hate to see that, and I'm sure, you know, whatever comes of that, her life is gonna be forever changed by that. But in the meantime,
This will lift your spirits.
what I'm trying to tell you. So we've been telling y'all about Couldn't Have Been Me for a couple of weeks. Now we finally here, and there you go. This is Couldn't Have Been Me, cause hell no. So I'm gonna let you take a stab at it, bro. Go ahead and you go first, cause I got some problems with this shit here. Like,
Wait.
I mean, first of all, it's people in the stands.
Elevate your hips.
Wow! No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hell no.
5 points. Come on, ref. Give him 5. Look, you couldn't have done that to me.
No.
You couldn't have done it.
No.
First of all, you got to be strong with a K to do that to me. And if you did, I'm gonna see you in the locker room.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
No, but
embarrass me.
this, first of all,
You're not gonna embarrass me.
remember when we talked about the delicate balance of righteousness and ratchetness?
Ratchetness went out the window when you threw me.
Yeah, well, this is for me on my ratchet. Bruh, right here at this point,
Look at that.
right there. So after that, see how he set up? Because he's trying to figure out what happened. After I caught my breath from that shit there, I'd have took off. We was been at this, wait, hold on, here it come. Boom.
Bam.
So right here, when I figure out what happened, now I'm on your ass. Now we fighting. I'm throwing feet, hands, anything else I can reach for.
Look.
Bruh.
Pop your hips, elevate. This is technically perfect.
No.
Oh.
Hell no, there's people out there. My girl probably out there.
Listen.
My children probably out there. There's probably all kind of stuff going on, man.
Well, you-
No, bro, we going to the trunk after this.
Listen, the funny thing is, every wrestler dreams of hitting this move. Dreams. Pop your hips, baby. Pop your hips. God! You gotta love it.
You laughing?
You
I'm
gotta
listen.
love it, baby.
No, hell no.
Oh,
I would have called a felony after that shit there.
Probably.
Bro, what? That first of all, it was so unnecessary.
I'd at least throw some fries in the salad.
It was so unnecessary. At this, bro, watch him. At this point, he plead. All right, you got me. You got me, bro. You got me. Let me go. You got me.
Oh my, ah!
So you just disrespect me like that
Yes.
in front of my people?
But see, I would have stood up and looked at you. He was nice. I'd have stood up and looked at you.
I'd have kicked him in his nuts so hard.
Huevos.
Bro.
Huevos.
Listen. Nah.
Look, that is kind of, I mean, I can, as a former wrestler,
As a man, though. Like, as a man.
like
right?
if somebody came up to you and Win Dixie and did that, I can understand.
What?
You saying?
What?
I can understand you getting upset and going after me. But you gotta sign up for that, man. You sign up for this.
Bruh, ain't no way in hell. We gon' listen. It's cool. You got me. But I'm going to whoever's running the tape, whoever's running that tape, please keep it rolling.
I ain't gonna lie.
Cause we finna fight right now. Okay, you might be the better wrestler, but we done throw these hands,
Right.
these feet, eye gouging, eye poking. I'm finna hit. Bro, this is, no. It's in the internet age.
This
That's
gonna be-
never going away.
No. And I get what you're saying. This will turn into a tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Yeah.
After that throw. At this point, records all out the window.
And look how deflated he is. His manhood is gone. Like, watch
No, it's not. It's not
watch how
gone.
he sits down. He's just
Look,
like,
his
you know
manhood's
what?
laying right
You know
next
what?
to him
I
on the
shouldn't-
mat.
I shouldn't have came to the
Yeah,
bed.
yeah.
I shouldn't have came to the bed.
Excuse my French, but you know what he said? I'm gonna tell you. Watch. He's like, oh, I can get away. Oh no! Dang.
No. I'm trying to find my not only my manhood, but I'm trying to find some sanity. Cause
Yeah. I just got slammed.
bruh,
I just saw the light. I saw stand, light, stand, mat. That's what I saw.
and look at the referee. He like, her. Like, come on, man, you ain't gotta do all that. Just be like, all right, you got the point. Like all that, her. Like, what is all that for? That's ridiculous.
Beautiful, man.
Look at it. I'm gonna kick his ass too. The ref, you get it too, cause you sat there and watched all that go down. You get it too.
Hey, y'all watch out, because he probably would have gotten up and slapped somebody in the audience.
Yeah, I would have pulled a Ron Artest, because everybody remember,
Oh.
right? Ron said went after Ben Wallace and he didn't. What he did?
He went in the stands. Yes.
and put the beats on somebody, man. That was
Yes.
so disrespectful.
Oh,
but
my
yeah,
goodness, knock
so there you
somebody's-
go, man. The first couldn't have been me. Y'all already know what it's about.
I
So
ain't gonna
y'all
lie.
keep sending the clips in, man. We're gonna do this every
I ain't
episode.
gonna lie,
man.
that right there couldn't be me.
No, that couldn't have been me, bro.
Couldn't.
And if it did, y'all would have seen me in stripes.
Right.
Or orange.
Right. We put some money on your boat. That's just wrong. All day long. Ugh. That look like what Britney does to the WAP.
You gotta chill.
Look at it. You ain't see her sneak up on a sandwich? Come here! This was. Ah! Look. What?
I'm still pissed off about that.
But it's okay, bro. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down.
Hell no. All right, go ahead.
Look, we'd like to thank you guys. Remember, we want you to like, share, subscribe. Let people know what we're doing. Let them know what you like about the show. Comment. Let them know what you don't like about the show.
We on SoundCloud now too. Don't forget that.
Oh, we're on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So you get the podcast version of this.
Yeah. When you don't want to see us.
Right.
Which I can understand you not want to see him, but me. I'm just saying. Oh, go ahead. Bring me to cut you off. Do your thing. Go ahead.
Y'all got to look up the ad he did with the shirtless bear. That'll show you.
Why you
all
bring up
really
old stuff?
wanna know.
Why you bring up old stuff?
That'll show you
Why you
so
bring
much
up
of
old
what you
stuff?
want to know about
We
him.
supposed to be family. Why you bring up old
We
stuff?
are. Family put you out there quicker than anybody else. Anyways, good show in my
Yeah,
opinion.
man. Always. That's what we do.
WrestleMania, 7 o'clock tonight, part 2 of WrestleMania.
Part good.
But dude, wow, those. So I think it'll be good. Brock Lesnar fights tonight against Drew McIntyre. And the interesting thing about Drew McIntyre was he almost didn't make it out of Scotland when they had the travel ban that was imposed with the UK.
Oh, for the yeah.
So
COVID, yeah.
if they hadn't gotten him out when they did, they'd had to find somebody else to fight Lesnar, which they would have, but it would have been an interesting storyline.
Okay.
Not for McIntyre, but for Lesnar, because McIntyre actually lives here. He was just over promoting. So if you get a chance, check out WrestleMania. Man, it was good talking to Mr. Daquan Paul.
Daquan Paul, my
That's
guy.
a man right there.
Orange County, stand up.
That's
man.
a man right
Florida,
there.
stand up. Yep.
Really, Homer?
Yeah.
No.
Just saying.
Anyways, look, and just I thank you for going through the whole mandatory explanation because a lot of people don't understand that. And I'd like to announce that Trojan is going to be hiring Dana White as their next spokesperson
They better.
for the Brazilian brand.
They might have that package. We're going to ease up on that, though.
Dana might have that package. Not if he had to pay that much money for it.
I don't mean she clean, but I digress.
Ooh!
That's it? That's all you got?
I gotta leave that alone. I gotta leave that alone.
All right, man. We got some shout outs, man.
Shout out to my wife
Shout out to
and my daughter. And the plug, my mom. Next. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead, because I'm going to share it with her.
No,
Go ahead and
I'm
say it.
done. I'm done with the whole life thing. I'm done with it, bro. Like, it's getting to be overkill. You know, she ain't gonna love you no more because you do this on camera. Because you have to go home and live your real life.
Listen, it's not about her loving me anymore. I do it because I love her.
That ain't gonna get you no points. That was corny.
That's corny to a single man.
That's true. Anyway, shout outs before we get out of here. Matt Yano. Hey, man, we ain't forgot about you, man.
He's still alive?
Matt Yano's still alive.
All right.
He's a Spurs fan, so that's my guy.
He's a Spurs fan.
Aaron Skinner.
Aaron.
Jamaica. What's up, brother? Holla at us. Jerry Hunt, B More, you and Miles, man. I know Miles is also in the Navy, right? I think Miles in the military. We ain't heard from you, Jerry. Holla at us, man. Waldo the barber, Cutting Edge Barbershop. I know some things in change, but Waldo, you still my guy. Holla at us.
Listen, Mr. Cool, and as soon as I said it, his name ran away from me.
That's because you weren't supposed to say
The trainer that we interviewed at the weigh-ins. Your boy.
Marco?
Marco Fazzini.
I gave Marco a shot on the first episode.
Okay.
Shout out again to Coach Marco Fazzini, man.
Yeah, that's my dude right there.
Little Future. We're
Doing
going to interview
big
you
things.
again, bro. We interviewed you years ago and you was a
Yes.
little tight. Now you growing up, hitting
Yes.
puberty. Now you playing football, real man's game. So let's get that interview popping with you, man. Shout out to Ashton Sylvia, another rising amateur out there in California. I follow him on Instagram. Shouts out to him. Little Savages.
Oh, Savage.
8-1 Trade, Coach Genius Son stand up. They got a package from the money team.
Nice.
Yeah, Florida's people paying attention, man. So, you
Okay.
know, them prison workouts, hey, man, keep it going. It seems to be working for you guys.
Yes.
And lastly, man, Throw It Off Clothing from Houston, Texas. My guy, That's all we got.
Wow. And also shout out to a lot of the first responders, the people that are still out there. Oh, I do. You know what? You'll rarely ever see me do this, but there's a group of TPD officers I got to give a shout out to. Because I know, right? My dad's going to kick me out of the family. Because I took my in-laws' dog out for a walk Saturday, and we heard this noise, like a dog was just in agony. And nobody could find out where the dog was. Even the neighbors said, we heard it yesterday evening, but we don't know where the howling's coming from. So the dog my in-laws have, Romeo, he stopped at the drain and looked over and wouldn't move. Somebody had taken the cover off and dropped a full-size pit in the sewer and put the cover back on it.
Damn.
And the dog was trapped in there. Hey, look, I've seen people get shot and the cops not get there that fast. But they showed up 4 deep, and they were able to get the cover off and get the dog off. The dog was safe. So I give them a shout out for that, just because I happened to be there and see it. And shout out to Romeo for not wanting to leave until the dog was safe.
SPCA and Peter, you're welcome. Until
Please
next
don't
time,
kill the dog.
we out of here, man. We'll see y'all.
Fighter Share Nation.
I grind, man. So talk to us, man. This is your thing. This is your cup of tea.
Okay.
You aspired to be one of these.
Yes, and I almost
Let's hit it. 'Cause
made
It's
it.
gonna be some bull.
No, it's not. Because all these other people who can't do nothing, I'm talking about MMA, I'm talking about boxing, NBA, NFL, NHL, Wimbledon, all these, they can't compete, do nothing. Guess what? Vince McMahon said, open the doors, we gonna make that money. Vince said, we'll take the crowds, no crowds. His ratings are up because there's nothing else to watch.
That is true.
WWE has decided not only are they going to keep doing Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, they're going to keep bringing that money in, but they're also going to do WrestleMania. And they're doing everything from the Performance Center over in Orlando at Full Sail.
So wait a minute. So wasn't WrestleMania supposed to be in Tampa this year?
Supposed to be at Raymond James Stadium
in
Tampa.
April, right?
In April. This Sunday coming up.
Oh wow.
And guess what? It's still going to be this Sunday coming up, but it's going to be at their Performance Center over in Orlando. So it's going to be interesting to see what the ratings are, the numbers are, because you'll have no crowds.
Right.
And I noticed with the other organization that's out there, All Elite Wrestling, AEW, who has the people who left the WWE.
Wait a
for the
minute.
most
What?
part. Yeah. You have like Chris Jericho,
He still wrestle?
Dustin Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, a guy who was in WWE named Dean Ambrose, who goes by John, I forgot the name he's going by now, in AEW. You got a lot of them, man. Billy Gunn, him and his son now wrestle.
Jeez.
Right. But actually, it's not a bad organization. John Moxley, that's who Dean Ambrose goes by now. So they have an organization trying to rival the WWE. They're doing well. They're not going to rival WWE at this point.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me, and I'm not trying to sound ignorant. This is beyond my scope of knowledge. But you got actual people trying to compete with the WWE?
Yes, for real. Impact Wrestling did it throughout the early 2000s. And if they had not have gotten so gimmicky by bringing Eric Bischoff in from WCW, who his
remember
gimmicks
WCW back
didn't
in
work in WCW,
Okay.
but they brought his gimmicks into Impact Wrestling, that's what ruined Impact Wrestling. So a lot of those guys filtered into, because the Dudley Boys, after ECW went down, they came to WWE, they left there and they went to Impact Wrestling. And Bubba Ray kind of went on his own. But after that folded, there was no place for a lot of those people to go. That's where Kurt Angle left and went to when he left WWE.
Kurt Angle, wow.
Jeff Hardy went to Impact Wrestling.
Hardy Boys?
Jeff did. They've all had substance abuse problems at separate times. Matt actually is in great shape and is back in WWE. Jeff and Matt came back a couple years ago when WrestleMania was over in Orlando, and they won the titles. I know. So, but AEW also is having matches without fans on Wednesday nights. So it's, if you get a chance.
In AEW, they're in Jacksonville, if I'm not. Jacksonville, right?
Well, they have been going all around the country, but now they're kind of centered. I think they're location may be in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think I read why their location was in Jacksonville. That's interesting because they were saying that they had enough content to get them through like the first week of April. Because a lot of stuff has already been recorded. WrestleMania, a lot of their shows have already been pre-recorded. But they're saying that even though your boy, DeSantis, just issued a shutdown for the state, they still trying to get that jack over there, man. Them boys, they almost have
Well,
a
here's what the order is. You can't have a gathering of more than 10 people, right?
Right.
But that does not count for employees. So
okay. So you can tie as many people as you can to actual staff that's putting forth the event.
right, exactly. And what happens is Monday Night Raw is live. They don't record that.
Okay.
They record sometimes NXT, and they definitely record SmackDown early. But here's the thing: if you have a live show with no audience, you cannot show other shows claiming they're live, and they got an audience. So whatever you may have had in the can,
Dang.
right. So, but Vince said we're gonna make that money because it was at the last minute where he decided to move WrestleMania from Raymond James over to the Performance Center. He was trying his best to hold out, and I can't really blame him. But
I mean, you know what I also think is interesting? How about Bob Arum, Uncle Bob,